All right. So in terms of some of the definitions that we covered, meaning like what is a put, what's a call? Anyone want to take a stab at this? Let's throw it in the chat, like in terms of what is called a put option. Let's start with the put option. What is a put option? Let's see if anyone is following along with the definitions of when you're looking to position yourself and executing a put option. What does that look like? Yep. Yep, there we go. Yeah, it's more of a bearish position. You're expecting the stock price to go down. Yep, there we go. Yep, we're going downwards like a bear. So that's the put option. And then the call. Those are the two types of stock options, calls and put. What do we have? Calls. Bullish. Yep. It's upwards. Stock is trending upwards. Okay.
Your bulls and bears.
Yeah. So we're getting that terminology down. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's also throw in the chat. What are some sites people use to get news on companies? What's your favorite site to go to for news? I just news, like just getting information, and you're just trying to get a sense of like the market direction, market activity, what's happening. What are people looking at? All right, so we got Yahoo Finance, we got CNBC, Forex Factory, Seeking Alpha, and Market Watch. Awesome, awesome. Okay, perfect. Nzinga, MSNBC. Oh, excellent. Yep.
Yeah, you all too can there's news sections inside of whoever you decide to go with as your broker. If it's TD Ameritrade or Webull or whoever else, a lot of times the brokers too have news inside of their platform too, news sections too inside of their platform too. So that's something too that you all can check out. Okay, yeah, I see somebody put in TD Ameritrade. Yep. Yep. So a lot of times they all have news too as well that you can look into.
Awesome. Yeah, let's use our resources. We got to leverage all of our resources, be able to get all the latest information, so we can make the greatest trades that we can do to make sure we can set ourselves up for success. So the more information that we have, that's where we can be able to help, create value and understand the direction. All right, so in terms of chart reads, where can you read charts at? Any sites that we went over where you can kind of see the historical, the directional pattern that a stock is moving? Where are some sites that we have there? Yep, TradingView.
Yep.
TradingView. Nice. Okay. Stock charts.
Stock charts. Yep. Thinkorswim. Okay. All correct answers. You are paying attention.
Yeah. All right. That's what's up. That's good. That's good. All right. And one other thing in terms of seasonality, that's another important thing because we want to make sure like whether or not we want to position ourselves on a stock, if it's going up or it's going down, we can look at basically a historical pattern of the highs and lows of the stock. So where can you view the seasonality of a particular ticker or a stock? Do we have any in here? Yep, stock charts. There we go. Yep, stock charts. Nice. Good. All right, you guys been, stepping with us, keeping up with us. That's great. That's excellent. All right, so again, what we want to cover today is risk management. We touched on it week one a bit, but we do want to spend some more time on this topic because this is critical for protecting your investments on the downside and also being able to optimize your exposure on the upside. So when you're creating a portfolio and how much you want to allocate to a particular play, you want to be mindful of the exposure, the risk that you are basically incurring when you're looking to play a particular stock. So when we're looking at risk management, it's all about the longevity of a play, the longevity as a trader, right? So of course, we want to be able to make sure we maximize the profit and minimize our losses. So what are some ways that we can do that? The first thing really is looking at ourselves as investors and understanding our risk tolerance. Once we identify our risk tolerance on what are we able to manage, where are we able to play and maintain, that way we can get a good understanding of which strategy we want to use to minimize the risk we're playing. So that's the first thing, is we need to understand our own risk appetite, our own risk tolerance. And yes, it is true that if we're taking on more risk, there are chances for a high reward, But then again, we also want to be very disciplined on our approach as investors, so we can be mindful of the type of risk that we are taking on. And there are several ways that you can manage the risk when it comes to stock options. So the first one is, diversification. So we did talk about both, like, having a hold position, a put, a call. So those are different type of positions, but also investing in different asset classes, right? So stocks is just one asset class. You have other asset classes such as real estate. And once you get a good understanding of like your overall portfolio, that will help you to get a better understanding of how much risk you're willing to take when it comes to day trading stock options, or looking even to have a longer position in a stock. The next thing is hedging. Hedging is all about being able to manage both like the upside and the downside. So one way to do that is, playing a put option. That's part of like a way that you can protect the downside risk. If you're basically hedging the bet there by, entering into that type of position. Another way is setting up a stop loss order. So that's what we're also going to do today is, setting up a trail stop. That way you can really manage your risk in a way that will prevent additional losses that you can potentially incur after you've already gained some profit on a particular play. So we want to be able to, like, if we're already winning, we want to know when is a good time to get out if the stock is not going again in the direction that we're hoping it to achieve. So we want to set up the stop loss orders to protect us from the downside risk of a particular play. And the next thing is really about limiting the exposure. So, and based off of the assets that we have available, how do we allocate a percentage amount that we can make sure that we are willing to incur that amount of risk associated with that amount of capital that we're putting up in the market, right? So we want to know, like, in terms of the amount of information we have, in terms of with the reads, the confirmations, that we have a certain number of positive confirmations, or if there's a negative confirmation, like, what does that look like? How can we take all that information into account, have a great view of a particular play, and knowing how much capital we have at risk, which is exposed in the market. And the next thing, and the most important thing that comes to risk management, is education, right? We can easily, put our money into a automated, system to do all the work for us. But if we don't know how to actually trade it ourselves, we're not educated on that trade, then we are ultimately, have to be responsible for that risk. So the best way to minimize that risk is by getting education. So again, I definitely want to celebrate all you guys here today, because this is you participating in that, educating yourself to minimize that risk when it comes to stock options. So the more education you can get as it relates to stock options, the better your trades will start becoming, and then you'll be able to make more informed, educated decisions. And you'll learn how to, again, read the charts. Then you can start charting. There's other patterns and strategies. But before we jump more into it, we do want to make sure that everyone who is here today, I think, this is a good time to make this point that this is an introductory course, right? So everyone who is here is just trying to get everyone comfortable, getting them familiar with the terminology, setting up the accounts. This is all intro level, right? So we want to make sure that we make this as simple as possible. There is going to be opportunity, right, in the future for our advanced traders. So if you're looking to do more advanced pattern, advanced trades, or if you're seeing areas of let's say like ways to make money, that's great, and we're happy that you're part of the community. But we want to make sure that we're feeding the information in the right way so that people can really get the confidence to get started, get set up, get familiar, get oriented with the space. Because for a lot of people, this is a brand new world. So we just want to make this as an easy transition as possible. So we do want to be educated on this, because when we get more educated, we can have more confidence on what positions you want to take, how to use the app, and getting started.